Hi everyone, welcome to Revs Jubilee. Adam, thank you very much for the invite to contribute again to this fantastic event, and hopefully everyone's enjoying what they've seen so far, what's to come, and Mission Motorsport can gain a little from the event. As I mentioned before in one of the previous Revs events, during the lockdown we decided that one of the projects we were going to do was going to be to take this car and put it back from delivery with my company logo on to its 1988 Birmingham Super Prix livery. Also, while we had plenty of time on our hands, I decided that the YouTube channel that we just put together simply to put up passenger ride videos, so that whenever we shared the car with people and took them out for a run, we could then upload the in-car camera straight onto there and send them a link, and they could watch that video of themselves getting a ride in the car. We decided to update that and try and work hard on that and develop that into a proper YouTube channel. You know, so a lot of research was done there on basically how to get things to work best on YouTube, and working on things like the search tags and the thumbnails and actual learning how to create a video properly and edit things together, rather than just putting us on the start line and showing the in-car until we got to the finish line and then ending it there. So at the start of lockdown we had a YouTube channel with around 100 subscribers, I think, and about 10 or 15 videos with people in the car, and we worked hard over the summer, and things are moving in the right direction, which is great.
Everything we've done so far on YouTube has been done on an iPhone, usually handheld, sometimes held on a little mount called a pivot that'll actually make it turn and follow you if you move, but no expensive or complicated equipment other than that.
On there, we're now in April, we're up to 1500. That's the TV effect. I'm sure not that we're going to become super fantastic successes at YouTube, but we're trying hard, and we just want to have that as a project, and the children are enjoying doing bits of filming and playing with it and looking at the editing. I'm enjoying it too, which is good, and yeah, we decided to look into that a bit more from a work point of view. All the skills we've learned with voiceovers and sound editing and video editing and music overlays and all those kind of things that we've been playing with earlier in this video. We decided to invest in some proper camera equipment and offer that opportunity from a work point of view, which gives us something to look ahead to. So when it comes to the car, we pretty much already decided which livery we wanted, and as I've mentioned previously, there was some reasoning behind that. I'd actually seen this car in the Birmingham Super Prix when we went there, with my parents when I was not very old, and we enjoyed the racing there, and it actually turned out that we'd got one of the cars from that race, so I knew almost straight away as soon as I learned that information that was going to be the delivery that we wanted. Obviously, also, as I mentioned previously, we lost my dad in April last year, so that made it all the more poignant to do that livery, and also to create a four-wheeled nod to my dad, for instilling the petrol in the veins and the enthusiasm for motorsport. And really that was that and the RAC, when we saw a 6R4 there, was where my love for these cars came from. So,
as the car's always been red as its base colour, turning it back to its 1988 Birmingham Super Prix livery didn't involve painting too many panels. The front and rear spoilers were black and needed painting red. The Autoplas rear window louvre comes black as standard, and that needed painting red because that's how it was on the car. We also had to paint the front grille white. We also had to paint the silicon front splitter, because in 1988 it was white. The manufacturers don't make a white one, so we had to take the yellow one and have that painted. Obviously there was a lot of artwork involved, recreating logos for things like the radio station on the front wing that no longer exist. And also, a lot of these companies have got much more recent logos, so although I saw the livery coming together as we fitted it, I was just amazed how it looked like a completely different car once we'd got it finished. We're really pleased with the results, and we know that as much as possible it's a totally accurate recreation. The only things that aren't exactly as 1988 are the sunstrip, because I'm obviously not as tall as Steve Harris, who was driving it at the time, and also the car's now got a roof vent, which it didn't have in 88.
So having completed the car, we got towards the end of summer last year and the end of lockdown 1 as it's now called, and we were incredibly fortunate to have a wish list ticked and have a phone call to do some TV work, and the car was wanted for Car SOS. They were restoring a Metro 6R4 and they wanted one for the presenters to go and have a run out in, so obviously that was a yes. And then a couple of days later, another phone call, and Top Gear were doing a feature with the presenters driving their dad's cars from the 80s, and there was a challenge involved, and they wanted something for Stig's dad to drive. So having gone from, you know, the disappointment and the sadness of missing the whole summer's events and whatever else happened and everything being very, very strange indeed during lockdown, in September and October we suddenly were on top of the world with 2 bucket list opportunities that we could definitely not say no to.
Metro 6R4s are one of the best cars on the planet. Having driven that little monster there, courtesy of Dan, or that little monster there, I've got to say it was utterly stupendous.
It was also around that time that I just happened to be on a call out for work to go and see a customer from an IT point of view, and managed to come across, while I was there, a mini shell, just the shell, and we decided that, came back to talk to the family, and we decided that we'd really like to do a classic mini restoration. My dad had rallied one Mark 1 Cooper, late 60s, early 70s. We knew what colour it was, although we've only got 3 or 4 black and white photos. And I'd always kept a spotlight from the front of it. So we decided that would be the starting point, and we'd get the shell and we'd spend some time doing it, do it as a family project, and we'd recreate Grandad's Mini Cooper in the same colour and everything, and so that kind of idea was born. There's a little bit of progress that we've done on it so far, not a great deal for obvious reasons, but you know, once lockdown eases, that's going to be a big focus for the family.
The only original piece of my dad's Mini Cooper that I had, and I'd kept all these years, just never knowing quite why, is that large central spotlight mounted on the front. So out came the Autoplas polish, and that was piece number 1. As lockdown eases, we can now get stuck into this project. The engine is stripped and ready for a good overhaul and rebuild. That shell's been dipped. Next up is just to sort the floors out and then get some paint on it and start making it look like how we want it to.
And not to mention, events are coming back. We've got our names down for Supercar Fest in May with 6R4, May the 30th, and we've also entered the Historic Rally Festival in August at Telford, and I've seen some information about Carfest and things like that. So you know, everybody's looking forward to getting out, having some time at these events, and hanging out with our friends at these you know, social gatherings that we'll be allowed to do. Thanks very much for listening to my rambling. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully there's some fantastic things coming up for the rest of the event. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and we hope to see you out at some events soon. Stay safe, everyone.